Hello to the one person that came into the live stream already. We shall hang out and just drift around a little bit and see if who all shows up or whatever. Please note the crawler at the bottom. Hey, T-Boy. Not going to have a debate or a discussion on these topics with anybody that's not willing to put their face. That one's mine. That's my face right there. Hey, Ben, on the deal. And I don't care what some guy who is sold out to one side or the other has to say about any of this either. If you don't think every media outlet out there is sold, bought and paid for, then you're mistaken. So, hey, Chipper Aid, Aaron made it in early. And for the record, this, I believe I'm going to make Wednesday night my Patreon live stream. So there you go. $1 will get you in the door. The link to the live stream will die. The Patreon live streams will not stay on Patreon. You know, if you can't make the live stream, can't make the live stream, because there's too many people out there that share links on your videos and allow people to watch without being on Patreon. So, you know, these kind of discussions are going to stay limited to friends only. You know, people whose phone number and email and all that stuff I have. You know, not little blue or red or pink or orange or whatever circle. Oh, Aaron with the orange circle. Not picking on anybody particularly, Aaron. I'm just saying that there's and y'all know who they are. Guns. Whoa, here we go. There's the people that jump in and want to throw 15 or 20 links or whatever in the comments or in the side chat or whatever, proving their point or whatever. And none of them are, you know, it's all somebody else's opinion. Some guy that, you know, has got 200,000 or 300,000 subscribers. He's making, you know, if he doesn't sell a good story, he doesn't make a living, you know, that stuff like that. We're not interested in what those people have to say, or I'm not. So anyway, I will try to keep you entertained, Guns. If you fall asleep, be sure to let us all know, okay? Yeah, I figure get Guns in here, put some kind of crazy title out there. For though, if I will not delete the live streams, there is an individual in here. You know who you are. You will still, because of the your privileges, you will be able to watch. You will still have access to the live stream. You know what I'm talking about, and you know who you are. If just
all the information I shared, verify that my niece's friends with.
yeah, exactly, Chipper. You know, I honestly put more faith in the stuff I hear on BAM spots than I do in other places. BAM spots is an information highway that is for a privileged few. Uh, it's a scary place for a guy with a low IQ. I just hang out in the back and try to stay out as much as possible. But anyway, um, anyway, what I can't even remember my own title. Fauci, China, mainstream, and revolting, and you. There are guys on here screaming for la revolution to if that. All right, hold on a minute. I'm gonna turn the camera on y'all. Everybody close your eyes, open them slowly. All right. This is me. I didn't want all this handsome just slamming you at one time. We have several individuals, and they are all over the fence. They're up and down it, this side of it, that side of it. You know, there's more than one straddler out there. On this whole revolution thing, you cannot have a revolution to restore. Okay, you can't tear down anything to restore anything. If a country has a revolution, then the country that was before will never be again. So please choose your words better. I don't know. Go to dictionary. I don't know the right word for it, but you can't. Now, what the media made it a dirty word. Mainstream has made it a dirty word. An insurrection can be used to restore. But now, if you mention insurrection in a positive light, you will be destroyed. The end. Hey, C103. Who else did I miss? Oh, we got 10 folks in here. I don't know how many people's actually said something in the side chat. If you're lurking, hello. If you're douchewaffle lurking, well, promise my life I wouldn't just be totally rude. So, if you want to be here and you don't agree with what I'm saying or how I live my life or whatever, and you want to spend your life sitting here watching me talk so you can write down notes or take, a little mental things or whatever, so you can twist or change or whatever to suit your own little roly-poly trolley mind or whatever. You go right ahead on, dude. It's your world. So, there you go. Anyway, Fauci, everybody's focusing on the fact that the stuff that everybody knew back at the beginning. The news is letting us find out that, hey, y'all are right. It's all a redirect again. The news is telling us to be mad at this person, this person, this person, this person. There's a Prager video out. It's why I quit or why I left the news, or why I stopped anchoring news media or something like that. I'll try to drop a link in the description, or I'll share it on my community page or something like that. I don't think I have a community page over here. Anyway, it'll be over on the other channel.
Did you get the email from Aaron?
I, as of 2:00 today, no. Anyway, there's a lot of effort put into her in that video. It's talking about just exactly how controlled the media is. She doesn't come out and like say, "Hey, they're doing it on purpose." She has to be real. You have to listen to her voice and watch the corners of her eyes and the edge of her mouth to know that this lady is telling the truth, and she means it. When you hear that little inflection in her voice, I mean, this is the truth, but I got to say this. Then, I mean, you just, it's one of those, mm, click all now. I'm checking my email, guys. Sorry. Give me a second. No, see. Anyway, I have nothing, no email. Make sure you got, I can make sure you got the right email address real quick. In case anybody wants my email. It's pretty easy. Just fine. And some of it is just because, some of it at the higher levels is definitely manipulated by powers that be. But focusing on, putting all your energy into to see See, he was lying to us. See, seriously, he was a high-ranking government bureaucrat. In what universe? What parallel existence to the one in which we live in is one of those going to be telling the public the truth? They're we need to be worried about changing the way the people around us see things. And, we've got to quit being afraid. That's why I'm doing this live stream, is because of that video. That woman who's now retired. You know what? Let me see if I can find the video. Should be at the top. Should be at the top of this. If I can find the link, I'll post the link over in the thing. I'm not going to steal the views away from. I'm not going to try to. Oh, you've got to be. You've got to be kidding. I just watched it this afternoon.
Carol's birthday.
Hey, happy birthday, Carol. How does it feel to be 39? That's 39 is like one of my favorite years. I remember 39 well. Seriously, it's not even popping up in my history that I watched it. Oh, there it is. This is seriously worth your time. I love, Dennis Prager's who he is, but I really love the work that PragerU is doing and not just conservative. I mean, I'm talking your basic middle of the road American people. PragerU does a lot of really good work. So was it Chipper's birthday too? I thought it was Carol's birthday.
You can't trick us. Chipper wasn't born.
Apparently, I didn't get something Chipper said. Everybody's talking to Chipper about something. I don't see. Oh, well, did I say it wrong? Anyway, happy birthday, Carol. It's Carol's birthday. Carol turned 39 today. For the Really Wheels for the first time. That dog couldn't find that other dog until after I started a live stream. You want to hear a funny story? I'll tell you a funny story. I grabbed the one gun that didn't have a cartridge in it, and the stupid coyote that I've been after for the past month and a half walks out at 200 yards, turns 90 degrees to me, and stands there for a solid minute and a half. But my gun wasn't loading. Oh. But I think this is another coy dog. I actually got a good look at it. And he shouldn't, I mean, Sadie's taller than your average coyote. Okay, this guy has got her by about an inch at the shoulder blades. So, the coy dog that I had has spread his DNA to the other coyotes here. So now I've got a problem. Oh, so there's no way I can follow this chat. Y'all must be all working. Y'all all work for the media, don't you? Y'all just say whatever you want to make whatever the story is better. So, and people use things from the media as a basis. They're like, okay, this is what the media says, so we're going to have to go the 100% opposite to find the truth. And that's not it. It's, if you dig that some of the stuff that they're saying is true, it's how they're applying it to the situation is probably twisted. The temperature on the overall global temperature has increased. Average mean temperature, has gone up. The overall average depth and area and blah 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 of the snowpack and the ice sheet has gone down. We're not seeing the sea level rise that we were promised. We're seeing the sea level rise. It's just it's not overtly affecting everybody yet. It's spanking the crap out of Alaska and California, but we really don't notice it that much in I don't know, the rest of the country because we're not on the ocean. The drought that's been going on for over 20 years in what is it, northern South America and up through central Mexico. They're starving down there. And we don't hear about that. Because that's like, oh, that's important. Okay, let's stop worrying about shutting down fossil fuels and this, that, and everything else. Because trust me, it's not the amount of fossil fuels and stuff we're using is not doing nearly as much damage as this renewable energy push we got going on now. You kill off all the doves and the migratory birds with them big giant bird batters they got out there, and what's supposed to spread the seeds for this and that and everything else. Mulberry trees are propagated by seeds from the mulberry tree that have passed through migratory birds. I'm just saying, it could be a problem. The fossil footprint, or the fossil fuel footprint for a kilowatt hour of coal produced energy or natural gas produced energy is half that of a wood pulp generating plant. Because you take carbon absorbing material that's actually taking carbon out of the atmosphere and storing it in the forest. You cut it down. You have to chop it up, then you burn it. You re-release the carbon into the atmosphere, but you're only making half to 2/3 the energy. 2/3 on a good day. The energy you would from the same amount of carbon emissions from coal. Not to mention, you have caused the trees are gone. So now you have erosion. We can go on and on and on and on and on and on and stuff. I don't know what JBS Meat Company is.
The beef industry that was cyber attacked.
Me and the missus have a thing going. We think we don't think it's Russian hackers or China hackers. We think that's probably in-house stuff from the left. Come on, America's got the best hackers. America's the greatest country. We've got the smartest people. We've got the best people. We've got the best, I'm talking awesomest hackers. So, yeah, the whole outside influence bullshit is bullshit. The ransomware people are, at the very least, aided by, it's an inside job. I'm telling you, it is. What that that laboratory grown meat or whatever, I mean, that shouldn't even be a thing. Let's see, what was this? So we got Fauci, China. Okay. Who is paying China to do the research? Oh, no. Are we pretty sure that, that's where it started? Oh, yeah, pretty sure. So are chances pretty good that it came from the place where they were like growing the stuff? Yeah, pretty sure. Fauci, I watched the deal. He's getting grilled by all these politicians. And anyway, they kept, nobody can be 100%. Nobody can be 100%. Nobody can be 100%. And I was like, please, Mr. Smart Politician dudes, well, what percentage of positive are you that it didn't start in a lab in China? Or what percentage are you? what do you personally now believe the percentage of probability that it started in a Chinese lab and escaped? Just ask him don't let him get away with that. Well, nobody can be 100% sure. Well, what percentage of sure are you? Then, he would have to openly evade the question to not answer the question. So, and then, bam, that would have ended that. And then we could have moved on to, okay, what do we do? What are we going to do? We're going to try to bankrupt China for it? What possible good does it do me or you or the dog named Blue for us to know where this stupid virus came from? Are we gonna sue China? And if we did and we won in international court, would they ever pay? Would you still, you people in all of us 39-year-olds in here, would we still be alive to actually receive the check from the settlement when it finally made its way through the courts? That would be a generational lawsuit. There would be guys that started their career and retired from their career in law fighting that thing. So. Yes, and that's another thing. I believe that the whole thing, there's somebody, his name's not in the title, but he has trouble walking up stairs at the airport. And his whole family is in bed with Red, okay? We got this little thing going, man. We need a reason to kind of shut down the world. Do you think the Chinese economy suffered from the shutdown? Those people, okay, put your mask on, go to work. So they went to work. They just kept stacking the stuff on the borders. And then when the borders open up, they will just flood the market. The end. The only thing is if this comes out and it was them and stuff, and we put tariffs on all their stuff to make them have to pay us to deliver their goods, which again will just be added to the cost at the consumer level. So, anyway. Yeah, sure, we'll let this out. We got too many people over here anyway. This one does real good because it just takes out the old folks. Oh, cool. We'll let that go. We'll let it take out a bunch of old folks over here in China. We'll let it take out a few old folks over here in the U.S. We'll use it to shut the entire country down. That way we can run the largest mail-in Ponzi scheme, fraudulent opinion poll type, I don't know, thing ever. And then your man will have the power. How's that sound? Okay. It's just a bunch of old Chinese people. They're not members of the party anyway. That's my opinion. And then a legitimate threat faced the country, and I'm sorry, but man, he so got played. We all did. So the people that actually need to be sued are every Democrat in elected office. Yeah, all of them, all the way down to the guy on the city council. If another Democrats going to jail for DUI, another one of them. I'm 100% positive that any statement has a 50% chance of being truth and a 50% chance of being untrue. Yes, Aaron, that's probably. Yeah, and that's the top 1% of the 1%, the top 1% of the top 1% didn't feel this shutdown at all. Okay. 90% of the people that were in Hollywood that, oh, I'm starving now, I can't make my movies, and they opened a YouTube channel. They've all got millions of subscribers. All their stuff's monetized. They're probably making out better off of YouTube than they were off of Marvel Comics, honestly. Yeah, it's just odd that, isn't it, Tibor? You know, when you consider that, 2 months, we were supposed to shut down for 2 months to flatten the curve. That's all it was, to flatten the curve. And then when Trump started talking about opening the country back up and stuff, no, we're not going to do that. He got played. And it was played well because, he knew he needed to fire Fauci, but who was he going to put in there? There are very few conservative doctors out there who are doing well enough in their career to take Fauci's job. And it's got to be a doctor. All right, guns, be careful. We will not talk about you as soon as you leave. We will give it 5 minutes to make sure you're gone. Have an excellent night. Get some rest. Get up. Do the things. All that stuff. What about this? This whole, who are we supposed to revolt against? Everybody's always up on arms about the federal government. And man, it's not the federal government that's oppressing you. It's not the guy that owns the company you work for, honestly. We need to shrink the federal government. The federal government needs to be at least half the size it is. I don't know how to work over there because the country is gone. There's, what did I say earlier? 8 million people? Like 8.3 million people in New York City. The 8.3 million in New York City control the votes of that state, the electoral votes of that state. Those 8.3 million people do not reflect the opinion, the political ideology, or any of that of the majority of the state. Those who produce, it's simple. The more taxes you pay, the bigger your voice should be. Okay? It's that simple. If you're paying income tax and property tax, your vote should count twice. If you're paying a lot of property tax, then maybe you should vote 3 times. And I know it's not everybody can afford to own a house and this, but you know what? Honestly, owning a house in a lot of places is a lot cheaper than renting. I don't ever want to go back to paying rent. My house, none of your business what I pay for it, but if I had to rent it, it'd be $1,200 a month. I don't want to pay $1,200 a month to live here. So, yeah. Who are you going to revolt against? We don't need to revolt. We do need to stand up. I agree with that. We need to stand up. We need to say how we believe. We can't let them bully us down. And that's why I'm so proud of our governor for signing that deal. Because, somebody, now it's a really bad idea, or after September, it'd be a really bad idea to run up on somebody with a skateboard and try to beat them down for speaking their political beliefs. Because, yeah, it'll just be a bad idea. Now, there's an okay 2-bedroom apartment runs $800 in Fort Worth. A good 2-bedroom apartment runs 14, 16. An outstanding apartment can run you $2,000. A 3-bedroom house in a decent neighborhood, you're looking at $2,000. So, yeah, exactly. One side of me really regrets not going into the rental business early on. I started to a long time ago and I didn't do it. I didn't want to have to deal with finding renters is hard. Finding renters that you're like, oh no, I'll tell you what, if you promise not to move, I will remodel your house. Don't move. Do not leave. I will invest money in your house. What? It's too small? You need me to add a bedroom onto it? Okay. You're willing to pay an extra $400 a month over here for that extra bedroom? How about if I build a bedroom onto your house and just raise your rent $200 a month? You want those kind of renters in there because, yeah. But you have to be the kind of landlord that can keep those kind of renters. I worked in the rental business off and on over the years, and most of your landlords are crap. Almost all of your real estate management companies that handle the rentals and stuff like that are crap. So. Well, rent's going to have to go up because the value of the dollar is going down. That's the other thing. Every time they do another stimulus thing or whatever, the value of the dollar goes down. Every time they have to print more money to make up for the amount of money that they're putting out there, then the value of the dollar goes down.
Not only that, but if the landlord has to repair the plumbing or repair the floor, the cost of repair has tripled.
Yeah. It's, you know, yeah, what she said. It's the stuff I was doing for $30 an hour back 2 or 3 years ago. You can't get anybody to touch for less than $45 or $65 an hour now. And it gets expensive. Now I take that back. There's a couple of guys that are still doing it for the $30 an hour, but you're not going to be happy with them. I mean, come on. I was watching a Prepper Nurses One's live stream. People were talking about the cost of everything, and people were spouting out how much plywood was in their particular location. I'm just like, holy cow, that stuff used to be $20 a sheet, but now $45 to $75 a sheet. You can't add on to your house for that. You can't. You just can't. Yeah, and when it gets to the food, that's when people are going to start noticing it. We have increased our budget for food, mostly because we didn't have any choice. But yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, used to breaking news meant that it was something that you needed to be aware of, not hey, here's something we just became aware of. We've been trying to talk about that for months now, people. Instead of the trees going to the sawmills, they're going to the burn pile. Y'all won't let guys get out and go to work at the sawmills. Well, they are now. Lumber prices will go down some. They'll never go back down to where they were. And I don't know, they may not go down. That's a pipe dream. I don't think ammo prices will ever go back down to where they were. I think they'll drop some, but I don't think they'll ever. I don't think we'll ever see 20 cents around 9mm again. I don't think so. I don't think we'll ever see 30 cents around. You know why? The refits and the increased production abilities and stuff like that at the ammo plants and everything, those improvements were done with leverage. Okay, they're done on credit. So that credit, that loan is set at a rate and with their payments and this, that, and everything else set at them being able to profit this much off of whatever they're doing, this certain set amount. So if they lower the amount that they're charging, then they're not going to be able to meet the numbers for what they said they would be able to make off each bullet. So they will actually lose money in paying back their note. So they can't afford to sell you this bullet, which I paid. It was $19.27 for a box of 50, which is now the same one's $45. So if you can find them. Yeah, the debt system thrives. I agree with a lot of the people out there that talk about the debt system being the modern day equivalent of slavery. I mean, and people were sold on that in the 50s. They started that, it started earlier than that, but they started pushing it like crazy. Oh, you too can have this brand new 1953 Pontiac Buick, whatever, for the low monthly payment of yada, yada, yada. Why pay rent when you can live in this fantastic new modern home in this lovely subdivision for the low monthly payment of yada, yada, yada? Yeah, there you go. And then when they figured out back in the 60s that they had built those houses wrong, and that, hey, these people can keep fixing these houses. All they got to do is every 15, 20 years put in new plumbing. All they got to do is this, that, and everything else. They were like, we've got to come up with a better way to do this. So they invented slab foundations. And, that way there was, you're not going to replace the plumbing in that house. So about the time you're done with your mortgage, then this is like the best plan ever. About the time you're done with your mortgage, you either got to cough up the amount of your mortgage to replace your plumbing, or, you can borrow against your equity for the repairs. Or you can just buy a new house. Get it good enough to work until you can sell it to somebody else, putting them in debt. And then you go and move somewhere else and start a whole new mortgage. The debt machine is like the best slavery plan ever. But yeah. It's if we're going to revolt, we need to revolt against which we don't need to revolt. We do need to form an insurrection, but we need to stop bowing down to people that tell us that we don't have the right to live our lives. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. There's nothing you can say to convince me otherwise. I'm not the boss of you. You're not the boss of me. It's that simple. We have to have a mutual and heartfelt respect for one another's personal rights and liberties and privileges? Yep, we sure do. Um, in order to do that, are we going to have to be aware that sometimes what we view as we should be free to do this or we should be free to do that? Are we going to have to realize that, hey, if we express, utilize, enjoy that freedom, that we believe to be a God-given right, whether it actually is or not? The people always call them God-given rights. Our forefathers died on battlefields and stuff. For those, they were taught to us by God. They were earned for us by the men and women that came before. They don't need to be treated as an entitlement. You're actually not entitled to free speech. I'm building a necklace for all you people who wonder what I'm doing. You not have an inalienable right to say whatever you want to say, whether it hurts somebody's feelings or not. I mean, you do, but that's not promised in Scripture. You do, however, as a citizen of the United States, not a citizen of the world, but as a citizen of the United States, you do have a right to enjoy freedom of speech in this country. As long as you are speaking the truth, not a truth, but the truth, you should not be impeded in your speech. Now, even in our Constitution, in our laws and bylaws, there are stipulations on the things you can say. You're not allowed to be slanderous. You're not allowed to lie. Used to be the news media had to worry about spreading false stories because of liable lawsuits. But nobody's holding them liable anymore. So well, quite frankly, it's disturbing. To me, I don't know why it wouldn't be disturbing to everyone. But to me, it's insanely disturbing that the news media is no longer held accountable for lying to us in civil court. Maybe criminal as far as that goes. You would think that that would be something that never would have gone away. I need side cutters. They shouldn't be able to just say whatever. They should have to, by law, reflect only the truth, speak only the truth. If they can't back it up with science, facts, proof, they shouldn't be able to just make everything they put on the news an opinion. I labeled this as my opinion, as our opinions, and as, entertainment, so that the broadcast would continue at least until the live stream was over. We, as citizens of the United States, we have the right to free speech because our forefathers fought and died for them. That's something we need to keep. That's something that's worth fighting for. We have the right to keep and bear arms because our forefathers fought and died for that. The press is free to report the truth because our forefathers fought and died for it. The truth. They're not allowed to put out whatever they want. It has to be the truth. Give me 1 second. That's life.
Yeah. How about you?
Anyway. Yeah, back in the day, man, I miss the reporters I grew up with. They still kind of pushed up. You could tell which channel was this way and which channel was that way. There was a reason there was 4 channels on, and I grew up on 3. There was ABC, NBC, and CBS. And then there was that PBS crap that we weren't allowed to watch because everybody knew those people were thrown off. Does anybody watch public broadcasting anymore? You talk about the socialist, progressive. I mean, they might as well have the People's Communist Party broadcasting as a name or whatever. And public radio. I mean, this is the government subsidized radio. Oh Lord, they don't. If you go on there with middle of the road or conservative views or whatever, they will cut you. They will literally pull out knives and they will cut you on air. and people still trying to, I mean, and the people that are raising their kids to be like this, they're like, they leave PBS on in front of their children all day long. It just makes me nuts to think that they've taken all of that over, and we had an outlet with outlets with what used to be, just folks talking, but then pretty sure that the bosses at Google and Facebook and stuff were told, okay, do you like breathing? Here's the new rules. If you think that the people in control of yeah, yeah, exactly, Rachel. The we're if you think that the people that own the media can't erase you from existence, then you haven't been following the Epstein story. Okay. Hey, Rob, come in when I'm thinking about calling it a night. I would invite Rob on here, but Rob doesn't like politics. I gotta go get a cup of coffee. I'll be right back. I'm back. In case y'all missed me. Oh man, Carol's got cake. Anyway, I really figured people over here in the chat, Rob, would be like more proactive and politically involved because I never let anybody talk politics. And then here I am doing a whole live stream on this crap, and nobody's really saying it. There's a few people been popping stuff out. Um, um, I gotta buy me some side cutters, but I need the little jeweler side cutters. I'm working on my alligator gar necklace again.
That was the toy that was in those pair of sunglasses. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, pair of sunglasses was the toy in the meal. I'm not sure how sunglasses are a toy. Okay.
How much rain did you finally wind up with the other day, Robert? Not counting how much moisture fell in the form of the hail or whatever. I forgot. Uh, I forgot what the total rainfall. The total rainfall was. I checked it the other day. It was like, wow, not a lot. Um, I may have to sign in to read this. Oh, no. There we go. Oh, no, this old. But, yeah, 2 years ago was a wet one, too. Dude, Rob, they were fishing the walking park. I should go see if there's still any out there. The park flooded and all the fish washed out into the main walking park of the park. I know I'd found that. Let me see if this is it. I want to say we're. Mm-hmm. I don't know why this matters enough to. That's not what I want. Anyway, we've already got our yearly rain. I found out it's crazy how much rain we've gotten this year. What the ice storms and the ice, the snow, the rain, the hail, everything we've got. Like a lot. I don't know when Rob's going. I've got to go to Odette or Midland tomorrow. Oh, we were talking about the Fauci, China, mainstream media, and Revolting. But the 12th, 10 days from now is, I believe that's right. I have to check the calendar. Will be training or whatever. So, be gone for, I'm looking at 5 weeks. Um, the it's called staff week. Staff week lasts for 5 days or something like that, and then week 1, week 2, and then the group that was on week 3 canceled. So, and then go back for week 4 of camp. There's, and they could change. I mean, somebody could jump in and take that week of camp, and then I'll be back to 4 weeks of camp instead of 3, which it'd be fine. And they said I can either stay there and work on the camp during that week, or I can come back and I can work at that base camp. So, big old booktail flying here. We don't have any cicadas out here. Hey, Robert, the cicadas out up there? And that's the deal. I mean, we need an insurrection instead of a revolt. That's what we we're talking about earlier. But that the media has made insurrection an ugly word. I mean, an insurrection is just telling the government, no, you're not doing things the way we want it done. You need to fix it. They're legal. A revolution, you tear down what you've got and you rebuild it. So a revolution doesn't fix your country. An insurrection. It's it's words, but it matters. There's that, Chipper. There's that. I'd really like to have that big ass coyote gone before I left, though. Rob needs to tell me whether or not he wants to go down there and help me shoot piglets first, though. That's what I need to be doing. I've got to get down there, do my paperwork. I've got to go get the doctor to fill out they call it a physical. Basically, it's they need the doctor to fill out all my medical information so they'll know what's going on in case something bad happens. And yeah, the last election was actually a coup, but the people doing the coup is a military takeover, so I guess it was a political revolution / coup. I don't know what you would call the election. There's the opium people are starting to throw stuff back out again. So I didn't watch the video because I'm like, okay, I'm not going to play that game. Something about now people are talking Trump will be back in by August or something like that. I'm like, I think that was actually a CNN thing. There's no way. I mean, get a grip, people. Let it go. I haven't heard a single one. I haven't heard one in years. So we have a abundance of grasshoppers already here though, which they'll start showing up where you're at now because you've got the rain. They come out after the rain. It's just the way they do it. Yes, there is that, Tibor. Or remember to load your firearm before you leave the house. Either one of those will work. Actually, I had a shot at the coyote tonight, Rob, and then I neglected to do that thing where you put ammunition in the rifle. Now, hold on 1 minute, guys. Thought it was something important. It was just the old man wanting in the house. All right, Bent, be good. Thanks for stopping by. Yes, I do. But I think I'll just settle for one or the other of the long guns. So my next trip up there, I believe I will carry both I'll carry my AR and my 270 and I'll take my hog gun and my deer gun. Rob, we were just picking. I was just saying that I need to go down there because we're supposed to tan hides and we don't have any hides yet. So, and, get. I mean, I'd a whole lot rather try to show these guys how to scrape a hog than I would try to show them how to scrape a raccoon. Raccoon hide is a pain in the butt to scrape. Ideally, we'd have deer hides, but we don't. So there's the. I don't know anybody that's going to let me go out there and snag a bunch of their rabbits and turn them into skins. Okay, Rob. that's something. They have a freezer at the place that's just dedicated to hides or whatever that's for this, but there's nothing in it. I actually thought about setting live traps and stuff, but I don't have any nuisance animals. And, and there's nothing causing me any trouble, and I really do like obeying the laws because, well, actually, I don't like obeying all the laws, but I do obey all the laws that I can because reasons. One of the doctrines that actually come from the Bible. I was eavesdropping. Sorry. We can just start driving around and picking up all the animals that drowned, skinning them, I guess. The water pushed all the armadillos up out of their little draws and stuff, and they're dead all over the road. Well, does anybody want to talk about anything? I don't know what else I can say to entertain you folks. Expected Corsairs to pop in tonight, but he hadn't been over. Did you stretch it, Rob, or just lay it to dry? Not complaining, I'm just asking. I've done that before when they do that. You soak it, you take it out, and if you treat it right away, you can stretch it a little bit. It makes the fur really thick though when you do that. Yeah, the salt's important. The salt, if you can take a hide and stretch it, scrape it, salt it, and then let it dry, and then soak it with dadgummit. It's a you can buy it in the spice department, and you just put that in the water when you soak it and stuff, and then take it out and stretch it over a round pole or whatever. Just do the drag roll or whatever and break up the fibers. It's close enough to leather. So, and it'll anyway. Then you've got close enough to rawhide or buckskin, whatever. It's not brain tanned or anything, but it's leather. But it's a preserved animal skin leather. So, it's doable thing. Just mostly just got to have stuff down there to keep the kids learning the whole time they're there, and then I have to make myself available to it. The end. You know, if somebody's got a question, I have to be able to answer it. So, anyhow, who done it? See, like right now, I can't do anything about that freaking COVID. So I want to get a night scope, but I'm not gonna get one. Just now got my back put back together from. I had no business trying to pick that rock up. I mean, the more I think about it, the more I realize that was the dumbest thing ever. Rock weighed as much as I do. I got it moved. So, yeah. I'm not moving it again. Next time I will just go get the dolly, that was what my little voice was saying. Go get the dolly. I was like, I want to go get the dolly. I've got another dolly. I got $2, $3. I have $3. One of them, the handle's broke. The other one's tied to a cabinet, and the other one has flat tires. So, kind of like don't have a lot of excuses. I guess you could take the wheels off the one that's broken and put them on the one that's flat. But I like the pneumatic tires on the one that's flat. It's really easy to roll. Stuff around with that. And it's a Kevlar dolly. It's really light. It's really strong. It's probably the nicest dolly I own, and it's got flat tires. Apparently, if I put new tubes in it and then put some slime in there, it'd probably be okay. Or I could get tubeless tires. Put tubeless tires. Or I could just break it down off the rim and actually put. How you do that? You take and put inner tubes inside it and silicone, and then you put the tube back in there, and it got stickers from goat heads and stuff. Same as bicycles. I'm talking about dollies and tires and junk now, so I'm gonna get off here. We don't need to be focused on the stuff that we can't change, folks. It does us no good to know where. It does us no good to know where this thing started. In the beginning, it would have done some good. The end. We can't get our country back by tearing it down. It just doesn't work that way. You can't trust the mainstream media. The end. There's so much going on in the Middle East right now that nobody's talking about in the news. Probably really need to pay attention. I mean, there's so much going on south of us. We really need to be paying attention. If those people really do need asylum from all the horrible things that are happening to them, then we need, instead of busing them to towns around my state, put them on a bus, put them on the corridor, north-south corridor, take them to the Canadian border and tell them there's all kinds of open country up here. Just let them go. Yeah. Though there's a massive drought in Western Canada too. But that's none of my business. So things aren't going to get any better. In case y'all are wondering if there was some ray of sunshine. Things aren't going to get any better. Prep hard. Okay, prep hard. Prep smart. Stop being a dumbass and quit buying Bitcoin, for crying out loud. It's, talk about a currency that has zero backing. It's a good idea, isn't it, Tibor? Just let them go build little camps up there on the crown land, then grow their little gardens and like herd their little goats around and just do all kinds of whatever they want to do up there. Bitcoin is so stupid, man. I'm sorry. Now, do I wish I'd have bought a Bitcoin when you could first buy a Bitcoin? Yeah, because I'd sell that sucker right now and I'd go buy me a new bass boat anyhow. But I would be converting that into real worth just as fast as I could right now. If I had a bunch of stock and I could cash them all out and buy 160, 380, whatever, acres. Was it? If I could buy a full section. Outright, have real property that all I had to do is pay the taxes on. That would make me very, very, very happy. Because that land is never going to be worth less than what I paid for it. Unless you're freaking buying in the market now. Because they've got the prices so overinflated, it's crazy. But, and it can't be, yeah, they can camp in his yard for all I care. That's, everybody thinks, oh, he's a good guy. And I don't have any enmity towards that guy. But He is literally the enemy of the free world. Him and everybody like him. My second born son is an enemy to the free world. The end. Socialism, communism are enemies of the free world. So if you're a socialist or a communist, you're an enemy of the free world. And as a member, a citizen in good standing of the free world, to you. So, yeah, the missus has some, but she can't cash them out. So, anyways. Your little portfolio that you have, and you know what? You're vested now. Just saying.
Ain't like there's gonna be any money around when I'm old enough to retire anyway.
There's that. Anyway. Love you, people. Go still up. No, no. Augustin has stuff back in stock. Think outside the box on it, though. Okay. We do. We buy stuff to make rice and beans taste better. Because that just makes sense. Okay. I will see y'all next time. I will leave this live stream up for a while or whatever. There's nothing, no super groundbreaking or anything about it. Before everybody goes, be aware. This will be a Patreon deal. It's $1 a month. The live streams that I do on Patreon on Wednesdays from now on will disappear. When the live stream's over, they won't be there anymore. You won't be able to go in and watch them on replay. Unless you have gotten to a tier in or at Patreon to where you get special consideration. So, love you, people. Y'all still alive? Do not die. God bless.